Another big race we'll follow on Tuesday night is the Republican race for Iowa governor. There are 5 candidates in this race. Former State Representative Brad Sherman of Williamsburg, current State Representative Eddie Andrews of Johnston, Adam Steen of Runnels, who served in retiring Governor Kim Reynolds' cabinet, businessman Zach Lane of Belle Plaine, and Congressman Randy Feenstra of Hull. Now, if one of those 5 doesn't get at least 35% of the vote Tuesday, the GOP nominee will be decided at a party convention. One candidate in that race, Adam Steen, campaigned in Sergeant Bluff tonight. He met with voters at Pub 52 this afternoon. There, Steen spoke about his Keep Iowa Free campaign and how he would keep the Iowa culture by growing the economy and reducing taxes. At tonight's event, people asked him questions about his stance on eminent domain, water quality in Iowa, and property taxes. Steen said he's against the use of eminent domain for carbon capture pipelines and would focus on rising cancer rates in Iowa.
I'm willing to have conversations, but I always lead with facts. I don't lead with emotion. It's facts over emotion. And I make decisions from a leadership perspective where I bring experts to the table. So I will entertain any conversation. But at the end of the day, we have to protect our families, we have to protect our children, and we lead with facts versus emotion.
With elections just a few days away, Steen also shared how important it is to get out and